be talking about the greatest killer of joy, comparison. Because whether you feel like you're better than everyone else or everyone else is better than you, comparison is definitely going to kill your joy and steal your joy. So if this is the kind of content you like to see, please continue watching this video. Hey my loves, welcome back to my channel. If this is the first time you're seeing this gorgeous girl, please don't make it your last by clicking on the subscribe button, like, subscribe, turn on your post notifications so you get notified whenever I drop a video. But if this isn't the first time you're seeing me, hey love, welcome back. Sorry guys, I know I've been MIA, but I'm here now. You guys know on this channel we're all about self-love, self-care, and all of those good stuff. And just like I said, today we're going to be talking about comparison. What is comparison? Comparison is the consideration or the estimate between two persons or two things. But in this case, we're going to just be talking about comparison between two persons. We're going to be trashing comparison, and we're going to be talking about ways that we can find contentment in ourselves. I'm going to be talking about how I deal with comparison and some simple tips that I use to find contentment within myself. So comparison is one thing that 90% of persons deal with. Believe me, most of the persons that you look at, it seems like they have everything all figured out, are dealing with comparison, and comparison is a joy stealer. Comparison is something that I started from way back, because back then, even in school, I can remember, you want to be the first in class, to come first in class, come second in class, best in maths, good in sports. It is cool and nice when we compete in sports, when we compete in academics and stuff like that. But when we start comparing our lives with that of someone else, when you feel like you have to be the best in your career, because people deal with comparison a lot. People compare where they are right now in their career with someone of the same age that is in the same career with them. They compare their relationship with that of someone else. They compare their success with societal definition of success, societal standard of beauty, and all of that. People tend to deal with that a lot, especially in this day and age where people have their lives on social media. You compare your life with someone else's highlights reel. You can imagine. So it is at this point that people normally say that what you see on the net isn't really true. Sometimes we are comparing our lives with someone else's highlight reels. Most times we see things on social media and it's not really the way it seems, so that you should not give it too much thought. This sadly is actually true. Being someone that is into content creation, with the kind of things I've discovered, the things I've seen, it is obvious that most times the things that come out on the net, they are mostly edited, stuff like that. So, but I wouldn't really want you to base your happiness on the fact that you've discovered that someone else's grass isn't as green as it appears to be, but rather basing your happiness on the fact that you have discovered that your grass is also green. So how do we discover within ourselves that our grass is also green? That was a lot. But how do we discover within ourselves that, yes, me self, I'm doing well? How do you discover within yourself that you're okay, you're doing okay? So there are several things that I do. There are several tips. So the first thing basically I would like to talk about is you finding out, asking yourself some certain questions. You ask yourself, why am I comparing my life with so and so? If there's a particular person that you discover that you always compare yourself with, why do I compare my life with this person? What is that they have that I truly want? What will that do for me? What this solves is that sometimes when we ask ourselves this honest and simple questions and we get these simple answers for ourselves, we discover that we never really needed those things. Those things will not really play an essential role in our life right now. So sometimes when we ask ourselves and we're very honest with ourselves, we get done with that and we find out that we really never needed that stuff that we thought we really needed. The second thing I would like you to do, that I do, that has helped me tremendously, is to change what you see and what you're hearing. Because guys, if what you're seeing and what you're hearing is not impacting in your life positively, it's not affecting you in the way you want to, it's not putting you in the right frame of mind, it is in your place and in your position to change it. Let's take for example, you're someone who is on the big side in terms of weight, and you're constantly following people that are skinny on social media, even outside social media, and this person's get congratulated so much on their good looks, on how skinny they are and all of that. You're definitely going to be in that place where you constantly compare yourself with this person, where you constantly not feel happy because you feel like you can't be beautiful in your own size. You're not beautiful because you're not skinny. Come on. In this day and age where beauty, the standard of beauty is continuously moving, before we never really had models that were on the plus size, but right now we have models like that. And what I would want you to do in that position is to change what you're saying, juggle it up a little bit. Follow some persons that are probably the same size as you are, that are doing good in their own size. They are beautiful. They are okay with being themselves. They are confident and all of that. Happiness is contagious. If you continue following this kind of persons, you find out that at the long run, you get to find out that you don't really have to be skinny to be beautiful. You don't really have to be a particular size to be okay. You find contentment in yourself and in your size. So if you do this for probably all round of your life, you tend to get a positive outcome from it. And I don't think you should necessarily stop there, where you are at the point where you're healing, you're finding yourself, you're becoming more confident in yourself. When you're good and done with that, you can follow whoever you want to follow, because at that point you're okay with being you, you're happy at the size where you are. So that's the second thing that I highly recommend. The third thing that I would say you should do is make a list. Make a list of the things that you are most grateful for in your life, the things that are particular about you. What is it that you're grateful for in your life? Is it your mom? Is it your relationship? Is it, little things that make you you, things that make you grateful, things that when you look at you're happy about. So that when you get to that point where you start comparing your life with that of others, you get to this point where you feel like you can't be happy, you can take a look at this list, or you can make a fresh list. The fourth thing that I do is to make a list of the things I'm grateful for in regarding things I am insecure about. Let me break it down. For example, you're insecure about the fact that you're just starting out in your business, or you're insecure about the fact that you are single right now. So what are the awesome things about the fact that you're single right now? For example, you're single, you're not married yet, you haven't made a mistake as regard marriage, you have the freedom, you still have time to choose, you still have time to pick, you still have things to look out for. So you make a list of the things that you know are awesome about things that you're insecure about. So you know that, oh yeah, I'm not my yes, I'm single, I'm not married right now, but I haven't made a mistake. Yes, I'm learning more about the kind of choice I will have to make, the kind of woman I want to be with, the kind of man I want to be with. Or I'm just starting out in my career. Yes, there are things that I can look out for right now. I am, somewhere right now mentally to, take up this. So you make a list of the things that are cool about things that you're insecure about. So guys, I saved the best for last. The last thing that I do that has helped me to do with comparison is setting your own standard. Set your own standard and actively pursue your own goals. That way you set your own standard on what beauty should look like. You set your own standard on what your marriage should look like, what success looks like to you, what your career should look like to you. Set your own standard and you set your own goals, and when you actively pursue it, you do not need to look at societal standard. You do not need to compare your career with that of someone else. You do not need to compare your marriage, your relationship with that of someone else. You've set your own goals, and once you're meeting them, you're happy and everything is good and nice, and you've dealt with comparison. So guys, these are my simple tips on how I get to deal with comparison and how I combat it and find fulfillment within my own self. If there are other ways that you do this, please let me know at the comment section. I would like to know, and I'm very sure there are some persons watching here that would also like to find out. Thank you guys for watching my video, and don't forget to subscribe. See you next time. Bye.